Smoking ban for people born after 2008 in the UK agreed. Now I have a BBC video for you guys to show. Kay, what does BBC stand for, by the way?
Big Black Broadcasting.
Ooh.
No. It's the British Broadcasting Corporation.
No.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to let this play out for the first few seconds, and then I'm going to skip around because there's a whole bunch of waffle in here we don't actually have to listen to. But just so you guys understand the gist of what's happening, because this is actually insane.
Aged 17 or younger will face a lifelong ban on buying cigarettes in the UK as the Tobacco and Vapes Bill clears Parliament. Both the Commons and the Lords have settled on a final draft of the legislation that aims to stop anyone born after the 1st of January 2009 from taking up smoking. Well, I've been speaking to our health editor, Hugh Pym, about...
And then they just yawn and talk about other shit. But what I want to get to is this crazy bit in around 1 minute. It's nuts.
Will be UK-wide and significant because it will ban anyone of those ages mentioned, born on or after January the 1st, 2009, 17 or younger. That generation, and it'll be progressively the same as the years go on, will never be legally allowed to buy tobacco products, to buy cigarettes. Obviously, we're not talking about a ban on people smoking, but it's the key thing, which is banning retailers from selling them to that age.
And we shall see, but the obvious question will be about how enforceable that is likely to be.
Yes, the detail, I think, will have to be seen in terms of how it's applied, but you would guess the most responsible retailers, in the same way that they're restricted from selling alcohol, will have to make sure that they make age checks and maybe ask people for ID. But very, very significant because it's one of the first countries, as far as we know, to have gone this far. New Zealand were considering this sort of ban and then pulled back from it. So it'll be seen as a forerunner, and health campaigners, certainly in the UK and further afield, will be very pleased with this because they say it will make a big dent on the smoking habit, which is so damaging for health.
Now, I mentioned vapes in the introduction. Run me through, because a lot of focus has switched from cigarettes to vapes and the variety of issues there. So what is included in the legislation on that?
Yes, there will be restrictions on the marketing of vapes and restrictions on flavours and that sort of thing. And vaping will be banned in cars where there are children also in the cars. It'll be banned in playgrounds and outside school, but vaping...
They're banning outside.
This is crazy. Like,
also,
inside and outside.
Restrictions on flavors. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
You only have
they
your
did
state-approved
United
flavors.
States, actually, under the first Trump administration, because vaping was taken off so quickly, especially with teens and young adults, because they blamed it on the fruity fun flavors, and like there was a whole assortment of like key lime pie or chocolate or whatever the case is. And so then they actually restricted it, and to the point where now they don't have fun flavors anymore. You get very basic ones.
Frank is a fun flavor.
We got another joke incoming.
Hey guys,
Hey,
how's it going?
You
Good, how
totally
you
just
doing?
interrupted our very serious conversation.
I had no idea because I'm busy driving, and I was just thinking of fun jokes.
Oh,
Do you want to hear one?
yeah, all right.
All right. Wow, this is specifically for you.
All right. Is it
Hey.
rolling again?
Hey, Babs,
Hey.
how does Hagrid like his tea?
Boiled?
He steeps it in a giant muggle.
Boo this man!
I'm booting him.
Boo!
I'm booting him. You're gonna be booted, sir. God damn. That's nuts.
Yeah, that was
anyway.
pretty bad.
Yeah. Boo this man. Anyway. Alright, so Phoenix went to probably go grab himself a Pepsi, but I want to actually look at the comments because they actually make so many great points.
Disgusting.
They make so many great points. Few years later, how to deal with cigarette mafia in the UK. Which is true, because not only they're banning retailers from selling, they're restricting marketing, they're restricting flavors, they're restricting this, and this. It's crazy. And it's like, tell kids they can't do it. That will work. which never works. I don't know. So in 20 years' time, a retailer is going to ask a 40-year-old man for an ID. Like, how does this work? Are they like just not going to exist anymore, these retail companies? Like, are you putting people out of business? It's a choice to buy tobacco.
Basically, because as the older generation dies out, like these kids that, after 2009, they can't buy cigarettes whatsoever. And so, like, there's going to be no market because there's going to be no people buying. Obviously, there's going to be somewhat of a black market in the background because that always will exist. But for the most part, just non-existent. You're completely killing the cigarette company.
It's literally just prohibition again. You're just going to have black markets on it. Congratulations.
You're
not eliminating the problem.
This totally won't create a bigger black market for cigarettes and tobacco than there already is. And it's true. Like, this is nuts. Whatever happened to, like, your own right to buy what the fuck you want to buy? I mean, I know it's the United Kingdom, but don't they have some sort of freedom over there?
I just want to point something out that I noticed in that conversation, talking about banning cigarettes, talking about certain vape flavors. You know what wasn't brought up? A certain thing that they refuse to ban that comes in with a certain kind of demographic you bring into your country. Hookah.
Yes.
And why was that not mentioned in the conversation? And I'm sure if you look at the stats of hookah in the UK, that's probably increased a lot. Do you think they're going to rail against that? No, because they don't want to be mean to the minorities. Oh, no. So why don't you start by getting rid of all the people that are flooding your country before you start taking away cigarettes and other things?
Well, it's actually good that you brought that up because a lot of these diverse folks that have been imported over the years, they put up fake barbershops and fake vape shops. That's their point of contact where they usually bring the girls to do whatever they're doing. And so, like, if they're trying to sort of kind of kill the cigarette industry and the vape industry, how is that going to work for these fake vape shops? Like, obviously, there's something already going on where they're able to hide their sales and mess with the numbers to make them look legitimate. But if they're being indirectly destroyed by the government with this ban, how can they actually kind of keep that illusion up? Like, it's kind of interesting how that's going to work.
Wasn't there a giant-ass fire a couple of weeks ago on a very historical building in the United Kingdom that was a vape shop and everything?
Yes. Like, it's a well-known fact that these vape shops and barber shops, both of them, are just fronts for these grooming gangs.
Interesting. Arch, you got any input on tobacco?
Well, so the reason why they're doing this is because it's an easy moral victory. And I don't know if this is going to result in a major black market, because smoking has already been viewed as immoral for quite some time. We already have fairly widespread and popular smoking restrictions in most Western countries, including the US as well, when it comes to smoking in public places, for example. This is obviously a far more extreme version because the UK cannot be out-tyrannied by any other power on earth, obviously. But I don't know if there will be a major pushback against it. Now, of course, you can then launch into the theoretical question of what will they ban next, because they will ban something next. And that, if anything, is the larger problem, because we've gotten very accustomed to just kind of pulling our freedoms one by one. Though I do think that smoking is something that is viewed as almost universally negative, far more so than alcohol. Plus, alcohol is something that people have demonstrated they will not live without, whereas tobacco, not quite as much. Then we can expand that into, like, okay, if it's bad for you, maybe we should ban it, okay, but we're legalizing weed, marijuana, we're legalizing water pipes, hookah, we're legalizing all kinds of stuff. When does it end? It's a complex discussion.
Yeah, they're setting a precedent that basically, if you're born after a certain age, you can be banned from doing stuff for the rest of your life. And they already had the Online Safety Act go in last year. And that's a huge fucking scam where it's not actually protecting children. It's just more mass censorship there. So how far are they actually going to be willing to go with this now that they have this precedent? Like, it might not be immediately next year, but The thing is, they mentioned in that clip that Rishi Sunak was the one who brought in the cigarette ban under the Conservative government, and the Online Safety Act was also under the Conservative government that I started in back in 2021. Keir Starmer's is finalizing all of this details, which, you know what? I'm more than happy to have Keir Starmer and Labour government take the blame. Obviously, they're not stopping it and they're help promoting it, but it just shows that the current two parties, that the two major parties within the UK are both two sides of the same coin. They're both advocating for this mass nanny state that they're imposing upon the people, and they both need to just get completely thrown out and replaced. They're awful, awful parties.
I agree.